The harsh realities that no one likes to hear, and the journeys that no one likes to see. Bringing you these journeys with the Insane Minds podcast. Here's your host, Sarvesh Maria.
Welcome. It's your host again, and this episode was recorded in September 2022. But today I had honor to speak with Chirag Mahajan from India, and he brings a lot of wisdom to the table today. But not only that, he also gives us a lot of insight on machine and deep learning. And he also mentions how badly you have to love what you do because in the end, you're gonna do that whole your life. So get comfortable to listen to Chirag Mahajan. Welcome on the show, Chirag. It's my honor to speak with you today. But go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you, Sarvesh, for this opportunity. Yeah, so my name is Chirag Mahajan, and I am from Ludhiana, Punjab, basically. So I am a software developer in a company. So my background is I've done my BTech in the computer science, specialization in computer science, and my major branch is at artificial intelligence. So yeah, that's my major thing. I've been working on different projects in the company, and yeah, I've been doing little better right now. Earlier, better than the earlier phases.
Here's the thing. One thing that annoys me all the time is like when you try to explain someone that I'm a computer science student, they already assume that if you're a computer science student, you might be designing apps, you might be developing apps, you might be developing softwares, and on the other side, you might be developing websites as well. I feel like there's so much illiteracy on that. But I will go on that later into the interview. But I want you to kind of give where do people start if they want to become a computer science, like go into any specific field in computer science.
Well, first you have to figure out what do you want to do in computer science. Like it's a very wide variety. Like you can do from mobile development that has two variants, like Android development, iOS development, and even you can do a hybrid mode. Like you can create an app which can run in both the systems. So you can do another in that field. So there are three fields in the mobile development only. Then we have web development. Then we have right now you must be seeing a lot of data scientists and data analysis and what much more artificial intelligence. So my field is artificial intelligence because I like to play with the algorithms and analyze those things. So yeah, my field is artificial intelligence, but there's a lot of variety. You can't even talk about everything in one go. But yeah, still you have to figure it out what do you want to do, where your interests are, and just have to try out everything once so that you can be sure that you can do that thing for a little bit long time, because that's when you will fall in love with that. Because in the initial state you will be like, why I'm doing this, what I'm doing it for. So you have to figure out everything right now. You have to try it once. That's what I would say. You have to try it once.
That is what I always say, that you gotta know why are you doing what you're doing, because that becomes your key motivator. But what I'm getting from you is like people need to try everything before they jump on anything specific they're gonna go for. Because in the end, if you're going for anything specific, you would, or you generally would do that all your life. Am I right on that? Like, that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, then go for it. Because if you stuck with you, if you figure out that I don't like this, that's good. But if you figure out that I like this, but I'm not sure about this, you have to be sure, because once you choose it, then you want to do that for the rest of your life, or maybe in between switch. But you need to love it, because sometimes it will be tiring staring at the computer screen for 4 to 5 hours and still not getting, and still be at square one. So it is tiring. It is tiring.
You mentioned artificial intelligence over there. Now I'm curious what all the things you could do with AI.
Yeah, a lot of things. Still much figuring out what I can do with it. But there are three phases of the artificial intelligence. Like there's machine learning, there's deep learning, then it is artificial intelligence. So you need to have a good grasp of these topics, these things before entering into the AI field.
Then go ahead and teach us a little bit about all of those.
Yeah. So basically, the Artificial intelligence is a big bubble. So it contains like artificial contains the machine learning and the deep learning. So deep learning is basically explaining is the subset of the machine learning. So they are all connected with each other. So machine learning is what we are training a machine. We are training a machine to do things on its own. And deep learning is basically is just playing an algorithm so that it can analyze the data on its own and it can present with us. So that will be used by machine to perform its action. And that whole will be used by another machine to perform a combination of actions which can be useful for in the future that humans don't need to perform on its own. So that's why it's a little bit complicated like that. But yeah, they are all connected in one way. And you need to figure out what's the best way to reach your answer and how you're going to reach it. You have to figure it out on your own.
I think you explained it pretty well, but I'm not that smart. So is that like machine learning works on the back end and deep learning works on the front end? Is that how it works?
No, no, no. They are all in the back end. What you see would be the actions performed in front of you. Like if you want to like type a message and send it on a particular timeline. So you in the back end it will say at this time you want to send this mail to someone. So you will feed in your time and all that stuff. That is the front end. What the back end is doing, it's checking on the clock, what message you're going to type, like the chatbot that you have faced that you may have seen in Amazon or in Flipkart. Like you just press one button and it's like hi, this virtual assistant is there. You need to say hi, hi, what's with your problem? That's working on the back end. And what you see is just a three column that you want to like your orders, your history of orders, and what you want to return. That's the front end. The back end, it's been all been done like the machine has been trained on like if the person says hi, what you want to say the first three responses would be. That is done on the back end, and all the three are being used in the back end. And what you see, like the three messages that you see in the front end, is the front end that we have been developed.
Man, to me it seems like very complicated things. But how much studying has to be done to be really good at it?
A lot of studying has to be done because it has contains various of algorithms and various of studies. What kind of hypothesis are you using? What kind of probability are you using? The training has to be done, a lot of has to be done, because if you don't like it or love it, you can't stare it for the screen for a minimum of 4 to 5 hours and then do your in a project, because it will take sometimes 4 to 5 hours to solving a small problem, and sometimes you don't even able to solve it.
So where do we start? Do we start by learning any specific language?
Yeah, we have to start with a particular language. Like for machine learning, their go-to is Python. Like Python is the core of the everything, because it is libraries are there which enhances like some of the problems are being solved easily because the libraries provide with that solution. So the go-to language is Python for sure. But if you want to like go into the deep of the coding, like of the main, then you can go with C++. There is Spark also. So yeah,
So let's say someone is learning Python and he or she is putting 3 to 4 hours every day. How much time do you think will take them to become better or in general good at it?
you can't. It's the basic fundamentals that you can learn about the Python in like what I would say 1 month, maybe. Yeah, the fundamentals of Python, but how to use it in a particular solution, that was going to take you much more than 3 to 4 months, much more than that. 4 months maybe less even for you. Sometimes the problem is there, you can't solve it. So 4 months, 5 months can be there when you're working on a project. So best way to learn Python is learn the basics of that and start to implement them on a particular project, so that you can know when to apply this kind of solution on this the problem. So I would suggest that we learn the basics of Python, first test them out, and then start with the using them on a project. So that's the best way to learn something. But still, you're gonna face problems. Your Google is the best way to solve some problems, but you need to know how to use that particular set of code from the Google in your project, and how you're gonna change the code in a particular way that it will help your code to enhance much more than the other person has used it.
Then is there any website or a resource that you personally go on when you go to try to find codes on Google?
On Google, you can go to Udemy or courses. We have YouTube. And YouTube is vast. It's very vast. You have go to that. Or for coders or who are already have done previous projects and that they must be known about GitHub. GitHub has a 90-day challenge, and you can do learn basics of Python 90 days. So yeah, and it has a project involved also. So you can start with that also over GitHub. There is a library source repository which enables you to learn Python, basics of Python in 90 days. Yeah.
Oh man, you brought a sore topic. And you know what? I've been asking this question to everybody because I personally felt that in media that I can learn so much online. But now you brought it up by yourself, Udemy and YouTube. I'm curious when we are in a DNA age where there is so much resource available online where you can go and learn. But then is it really worth it to go to school or college?
Yeah. School education is valuable because you get to connect with people with the same mindset easily as compared to the online. Because sometimes people respond differently, and you don't like the way, because texting and calling sometimes you feel like I need some time, specifically arrange some time for that. But in school going, you there is a particular set of teacher in that always there. In the Udemy, the video lectures are always recorded. There's a community to help you out, and sometimes you don't figure it out what's the best way for you. So you have to check out every way. But that when the teacher is there, so you can figure it out on in the, or you can ask questions regularly. You don't able to connect with the same person again and again on the online world. But yeah, the teacher is good sometimes. I started with the offline style. I started with my C++ offline and my Python offline, and then I shifted to online. First, you need to know the basics, because the basics are to be built especially good, because the basics are the foundations. I mean, the basics are the foundation. Udemy helps you that, but testing out, the questions are being asked on the spot, thinking on the spot is very is important. So yeah, I think so. Offline also helps. Offline enables a much better way of teaching as compared to online.
So you will say that there should be a balance between both of them.
Yeah, definitely balance. We are using computers all the time. There's balance in that. If you're stuck with a question, you can go online, but the foundations have to be set in the proper correct way. So correct way can be any teacher. You have no who can teach, you can interact with that person regularly, because once a person you solve for the solution, you can ask that and get your answer and do your work. But the next time you want to understand the problem, he may not be able to tell you because he's a developer. He may not be help you, but a teacher will definitely be able to help you, because he knows how the students of his age, because he has passed through that age, will be thinking and will be able to guide you from that code with the problem solution, and will tell you that you can go for this sources, you can go to this source. He will tell you the exact source of that question, and the solution would be available with your thinking capability.
I believe your teachers will be very happy to hear that. And they probably will like, wow, Chirag, we love you.
I hope they are.
But will you say that you develop apps?
No, I don't develop apps. I work for a client in my company, so can't release much of the details in that. But yeah, I'm working on a project right now.
What company are you working for?
I'm in Cognizant. I'm in Cognizant, so I'm developing a project with a client. Can't share the details, but yeah, that's good.
So talk to us. How is it like to work for a company like Cognizant?
Yeah, it's good. And the work structure is there. The hierarchy is not there, so you can call. It's like they're all your colleagues. You can talk to them. You can share your thoughts. If you have any problem, there's no senior, junior types. You can ask them easily the questions you want to ask. You can arrange a meeting with them easily. If I want to message my boss's boss, I can do that easily. I have no regrets on. She told me on the call that if you have any problem, you can message me, you can mail me. So, and she replies also to that. Like, that's very important for the youngsters to know that you can ask your seniors anything. Don't be afraid to ask your questions, because the questions you ask might sound silly right now, but they are definitely must have been asked by many others. So don't hesitate to ask questions. They are the key to solve any problem. You need to ask questions again and again. If you don't ever get your solution, they you are one step ahead of the others who haven't asked you that question from them or from seniors or from any other one else. So you are one step ahead. You are getting one step ahead of them.
So the boss you just mentioned, I'm curious if she's an Indian as well or she belongs to some other country.
No, no, she is Indian.
I asked this because Cognizant is a multinational company. So I thought like your group could be people from all over the world. What about your colleagues? Are they all from India?
No, no. They are not. All the colleagues are not from India. But right now, my team is from India because I have just started out with my journey in that. So I have a team which are mainly of India, and I have a bigger team which the company is not from India. So there's a mixture of that over there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But talk to me about the future scope of software developers in India.
Uh, there's a huge lot of scope because you can sit anywhere in the world and work for anyone in the anyone in the world. So yeah, you can sit. You will be sitting in the right now. I'm sitting in Punjab and I'm working for a company client basically who is in US. So I can reach any part of the world and with just my laptop. So that's a huge advantage for the computer science team, and they can reach anyone, help out with them, can gain knowledge to anyone in the world, connect with them, maybe may become better friends with them, senior junior relationship with them. It helps in building relationships, contacts also, and you can get a project from them also. So yeah, that's well and good for us, I guess.
All right. Earlier you mentioned that you gotta love what you're doing. Now, I'm curious where there's a fine line and how do you know that you actually love it? Because I see that people in general will start something and earlier they will say, "Oh, I love it. I want to go for it. I want to go for it." But then, like any other journey, it gets harder, it gets tougher. And then they kind of back off and then they say, "I think maybe I really don't love it as much as I thought I did." But what do you think like makes us realize that I think I really love it?
The fine line is that after spending a problem for 4 to 5 hours, you're still not able to solve it. You shut down your laptop, you go on in anger with that. But at the end of the day, you're still thinking about the problem and still come back to it is telling you that you love it. If
Wow.
because you go out of anger and you're not coming back, it means you like that, but you need a break from that. That's also well and good. You need a break from that. You take a 1 or 2 days break, but in the end, you come back to it. If you come back to it, you love it.
Woo! What an answer. But you brought breaks over there. How often do you take breaks and how much do you think it's important? Because as humans, when we really love something, and I bet you do love what you're doing, we're like, just keep going. I really enjoyed it. Just keep going, just keep going. But then as humans, we also see burnouts. How do you think, how much do you think breaks or taking breaks in general is important?
Yeah, time of taking breaks is definitely important because you need to reset your brain for definitely for that, for thinking about new. The brain has a particular, everyone has a particular capacity of thinking and working on something. If you are way beyond that, your brain won't be working in a particular best way, in the optimal way to solve a problem. So it would better to take a break, take a nap, go out, have something to drink, have something to eat, take a break and then come back to it, because if you are working on that from 5 6 hours and still be like I'm totally exhausted, I can't think about it anymore, but I still am still thinking about it, that's like you are not loving it. You are actually exploiting yourself, your health would be depleted and you won't be able to go far in that. So my suggestion would be that take a break, do something that you do otherwise would de-stress yourself. So it's like I like to eat various types of cuisines. I like Japanese sushi, these types of things. So I go out and eat that, and that's a very best stress buster for me because it enables you to enjoy various new experiences with that. And it doesn't allow new experiences. It helps to keep your mind off of that project and helps you enable new things. When you're off that project and you're not thinking about, then the way the brain resets, and then when you come back to the problem, you can think about it in a new way. And that sometimes you need a new approach to solve that problem. Sometimes the old ways are not working. You need to find a new approach to that problem. You may need to talk to someone else. Maybe that. Yeah,
Wha-
definitely a break is necessary. There's no doubt about it.
All right. Let's say someone is looking for good job opportunities in software development side of computer science. What will be the ways to go about finding good companies to work for?
Uh, Actually, there are two types of companies: the product-based companies, a service-based company. You have to know which type of company you want to go. Most developers are going for a product-based company, developing a product. So yeah, most of the developers will be going for a product-based company. That we have is the FANG is the most one that people love. That's the Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So that's the FANG for you. Now the Facebook has been changed to Meta, so it's going to be changed to Mang. But yeah, that's the major, like everyone wants to go to company.
All right.
Those
But
guys are the players in the field, and they know how to execute something.
cool. What is your personal opinion on getting the value of your talent? Because it's a conflicting topic where some people say that they want to work for companies like the Fang or Mang, but then there are other set of people who say I don't want to work for any big corporations because they actually don't value your talent.
The company will value your talent when you showcase your talent. That's my philosophy. Like what I think is the company will value your talent when you showcase your talent. No company is gonna value your talent if you don't show them what you can do. When your work speaks, that's the best word of mouth that you can spread around the community. You can go to startup, you can learn a lot of that. You can, that's no doubt about it. Because the company that I'm talking about, Fang, is basically they will provide you one set of work and you have to do that. But in the startup, you will be able to analyze what you love from that. So I would just, you can start from a startup. That definitely sure, because there would be failures and startups do fail sometimes. But you need to analyze what startups you want to work with, what are their objectives that you analyze with that, and do you think the same that they do, and that what you get in the startup. And when you get in the startup, the life is gonna be hectic. That's for sure, because startup will take some time of you. Like they are not going to do for the 7 to 5 job. They are not going for that 9 to 5 job, 7 to 5, whatever time you have. Startup will be on your 24 hours call, and you will be called. Like you will be allotted to different of projects, one at a particular time, because they have a less amount of workforce than the main companies. So your time will be valued over there to learn new things. But once you get into your own thing, it's like owning your own business where you have to work for 24/7. You have no particular days off because you need to answer to your client in that way. And where the major corporation, you have to answer to your client, but you have a particular lot of time because you have a lot of workforce, and the work that is given to you is less as compared to the startups.
So what I'm getting from you is like you kind of reversing the human psychology which states that they don't want to work from 9 to 5.
No, it depends upon your approach. If you want to learn some skills and enhance something way more than that, then the startup would be a better opportunity, because everywhere you go, you have to spend to a 9 to 5 job. There's no way like there's gonna tell you, oh, just work for 2 hours or 3 hours, then you don't have work for all day long. So I would suggest you have to work for that. And if you are in this field, you like it a lot and you want to work for that time, because no problem is going to be solved in less than 2 hours. So you have to work on that. And yeah, so there's no like work-life balance has to be maintained every day. There is no like you can work for 6 hours at the 6 days, particularly balance your life on one day. It's not like that. You have to balance your life on each and every day. Some days it might be there that your work is overpowering, and some days it might be there your other things might be overpowering. Then you don't want to work. That's fine. That's totally fine. You need a break. That everyone needs a break. That's why we have breaks, and companies do provide with the holidays they have, the structure they have, and you can tell them, I need something off from this time, and they will think about it and they will tell you that you can get off from this time.
So, how stressful does it get for software developers?
It gets stressful. Sometimes it gets stressful a lot, and not gonna lie about that. It gets stressful, and you want to just throw your laptop away from the window and
Oh
throw out
my
of the
god.
window, away on the bed, and just move on. But you can't do that. All of your data will be lost, and you have to start again from square one. So you just need to put their laptop or whatever thing you're working on aside and uh, take a break, have some go out, have something to eat. The fruits are the best way to energize yourself in the smallest amount of times, and eat that. Talk to your family members, talk to your friends, talk to someone else. Like first, you want to talk about your feelings. Definitely sure. Everybody is humans. If you just keep on piling up on the feelings, they are gonna burst out in a very bad way when you can't control it. So it's better to let them talk out, come out of your body in a way that you can control it. You can talk to your friends, your family, your seniors when you can. That's the best way.
I agree. But you know what? Sometimes it happens to be like some of friends, even in fact, sometimes parents don't understand what you're trying to explain. And how do you differentiate between what friend to go to when you want to share your feeling about anything, who you believe will understand the most?
It depends upon what kind of people you're talking to. Every person is different. The philosophy won't match with everyone. So there's a fine line between that who you like you can go to person for a particular thing. If you have some issues with your health and you go to a particular, like if you have a particular health issue with your body, you go to a particular doctor. So you, when you have a particular thing about your feelings, you go to a specific person who you align with. So that kind of person will help you a lot away. So you need to figure out what kind of friends would you have that they would help you in such a way. You have party set of friends, you have your college friends, you have your school friends, you have your society friends. So yeah, you need to see what which friend will help you me the best, and I can talk to that person in open way. And yeah, that would be the best solution to that. And you can, if the friends don't understand, maybe your parents would understand. You can go to them also sometime and like try out. Maybe they will understand. Despite the generation gap, they would understand, like, yeah, he's going through that. Maybe they have faced in their life also. So yeah, they would be able to help you.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm curious. Software developers put so many hours behind the screen, or any other computer science people in general. Do they even get enough pay for their skill and how much time they are putting behind the screen?
Payout depends upon the working your where you're working. Your skills will decide your pay. No one else will decide your pay. If you have a particular skill set that no one else has, you can expect as much money as you want, because right now the generation of software developers is not going anywhere. It is there for 10 years, it is going to be there for 20 years also. So you need to understand what kind of skill set do you want to have at the end of the day and work on it regularly, because the generation we are in, it is evolving every day. Every day new technology is there. And in within a year, as you can see, iPhone 14, iPhone 13 are being launched. So yeah, so they are not stopping, so why should you stop? And I'm curious, because every day you can, because that's the best way. The payout would be there if you have your particular set of skills. Nobody is hiring for you for for like your looks are going to be matter much, because if your skill set is there, nothing can stop you. Everything is on the table. You can expect everything. You need to have a particular skill set. That's all. Nothing else.
I absolutely agree with you. And it kind of brings me back to that quote I've heard there so many times, which states, you don't have to do extraordinary things, but all you need to do is those ordinary things extraordinary well. And that's what you just mentioned. But, like, share with us what are the common challenges faced by software developers?
challenges are in everyday life. Like when you start with this, you have to figure out what your go-to language is. Like I started with C, then C++, then Python, then right now in AI, I've been using different kinds of things. Like algorithms are being used. I need to know what kind of algorithm I have to decide. So the challenges would be you have to spend time. Time is the biggest challenge. The time that we spend on it is less. Like if I spend a 1 month on the one thing, it is less. I need to spend 2 3 months on that particular thing. Yeah, to because the foundation has to be set, the projects has to be set, and you need to know that you have the grasp of that. Some people may be faster than you, so you need to be aware of that. That you where you stand and what can you do with it. Then there is the challenge of having stress. Like I told you, like throwing off the laptop out the window, and don't do that. Just put it aside and take a break of that. And the challenges like in the front problem, solving a problem, it's right staring it in the face, and you still can't think about it. And that's give you the hell of a time. Like what are you thinking? You have self doubt on that. Like I am able to cut it out in this field, but don't think about it much. Like analyze yourself, whatever you want wrong. Like analyze yourself first. Like when you solve a problem, what my teacher used to say, solve the problem. If you're not able to solve it, that's fine. Look at the solution. Okay. But after 20 days, you should be able to solve it. If you're not able to solve it, that's again fine. You are able to solve a small set of problem of that question. So again, look at the solution and again solve that problem again after 20 days. So after 20 days gap, you should be able to solve your problem in a one step ahead. So that's the best way of solving a problem for my what my teacher told me. And I have done, and he's a great. He went to US and came back to India and started his own company. So yeah, that has been great. He's been great helping me out in this field.
Yeah, it's a blessing to have a teacher like that for sure. I believe you on that. But do you personally go to any therapist or just do some therapy sessions? And like what you think about the saying that states guys don't cry?
No, I don't go to a therapist, but yeah, analyze myself for definitely. I analyze myself, and that saying that guys don't cry is just made by the society. Guys do cry. That's a myth. Guys do cry. Just not in the open, maybe like that some guys, but guys do cry. We are always humans, and crying is a natural thing. So guys do cry.
But could you say that every software developer likes their job?
That depends upon the person to person. Like they can find something else interesting. So, but I'm sure about that. They love their job at a particular point of time that they wanted to pursue a career in that. So when they have decided that, they would be in love with that, the software developing. And they might find something else interesting in the moving on ahead in life is different. But yeah, I'm sure about that. When they started their career in it, I'm sure they loved it.
Sweet. But are you a goal person? Do you believe in goal setting?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You have to set your goals. Like when you start your day, you see what you want to achieve in life. If you have, I have a board in that like that. What I want to do today, what I want to do in this in the next week. I have a particular goal set in that. If I'm learning something or working on a project, then the deadline has been given to us. But yeah, when you're working on your own self, you have to set goals, because if you don't have goals for a particular set of day, you would be like, let's leave it for today, let's do it tomorrow. But yeah, I would say set a goal for today or 2 3 days and work on it. If you're not able to achieve it, then move it forward, but try to achieve that particular set of goals in the particular day that you have decided. So it's important to have goals. They guide you, they motivate you. Like when uh, being a software developer, I like to solve problems. So yeah, if it is hard, I love to solve it. It may take some time, but you are ahead of previous day. You are definitely ahead of previous day if you're working on it.
All right. But I think it was just a little bit different for me being a tennis player. I personally realized that the more I was focused on the smaller things and getting it done every day, feeling accomplished by the night, the more I grew because I just didn't had any kind of mental pressure on achieving any kind of milestone. And I think that's where it kind of differentiate between me and you.
I'm not saying to set a goal like I want to be a software developer. Set a goal like a medium set of goals. Like I want to do this today. Like if I'm learning Python, I want to do this topics today. I would like to finish those topics. And being a tennis player, I would you being a tennis player, I think you would like me. Okay, today I would be doing some volleys today. I would be serving today. You, I think so. You have set that kind of goals for you today. I'm not talking about set a goal like I will be the best software developer. I'm talking about you set a minor goals like I would be learning this today, I would be doing spending time on this project, and that's when you give time to it.
But do you also set time limits on those goals?
Yeah, definitely. You cannot set a goal like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna own a company, and next day you will own a company. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen in 1 day or 3 days or 4 days. It's gonna take some time. So develop some smaller topics like, okay, today I'm gonna learn this, and next day this and whatever you want to learn that. Like some video editing is there. You want to learn VFX of that. So VFX has many topics of that. So I don't know about much of VFX. Like the guide is there. You can go look on that. But yeah, you want to learn VFX in a month. You have said that okay. In the month is a 30 days in that. So you need to analyze. Okay, today I would be doing this, and particular day, or doing for this for a particular set of days. I'm saying that that's the goal setting I believe in. I don't believe that okay today I'm a software I'm a video editor and yeah, after the end of the month I'm going to be a video editor. But you need to work on it. But for setting particular set of roadmap, you need to set the roadmap for that. Without a roadmap, you will be lost. I believe.
Alright, share with us one advice that someone gave it to you and you believe you will never forget that.
Just stay calm, try to stay calm, and you're going to achieve. You are going to be better to next day tomorrow than what you are. If you work on, if you want to work on it and you start doing that, you're going to be tomorrow would be a better day than today. You need to work on it. So that's what my thinking, what have been told to me by my seniors. Like you need to work on it. No, nothing in this life is easy. You need to show your capabilities. You need to work hard on it. Just some try to stay calm. I think it's the best way.
So recently, one thing I changed in my routine was introducing a power nap every afternoon. And I have realized that it has increased my productivity by a lot. What you think? Power naps are important?
Yeah, definitely. Power nap is amazing. I also do that sometimes. It's not wrong. I believe in that. I also believe in power naps. Like if you sleep for half an hour also, sometimes that's more refreshing for you to sleep for 2 hours. When you sleep between the day, you are more productive for the rest of your day. Like if you sleep for half an hour, 1 hour, you are going to be more productive than others. I believe because you have taken the rest that they don't have. So you're going to be more productive. You're going to be more energetic from doing your work, your classes, like you said. You have your classes after that. So you're going to be more energetic. You're going to pay more attention to what the teacher used to say, or what are the source you have for your teaching, for your classes. So you are paying more attention to it, and you are able to grasp the topics that you're being taught a much better way, I believe.
Alright, share with us if you have any interest other than being a software developer.
I like watching sports bloopers. They are funny. I like sports definitely because I have been. I like to play badminton. I have played district level badminton and chess also. So I have played district level of chess also. I like watching sports bloopers and listening to indie music a lot. Like these days, my go-to place is indie music. I just open my indie music playlist and listen to it. And it's
Dear,
refreshing. It's keeping calm. It's pushing me forward.
sweet. But before you leave, Chirag, I want you to give your contact information for people if they have questions or have problems in any stuff related to software developing, they could ask you.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to contact me, they can contact me on Chirag Mahajan 9876 at the gmail.com. Yeah, I would love to answer any of your thoughts that you have, problems that you're facing, if I could, or probably will guide you to someone that I know may will be able to help you. If not, you can probably leave me a comment on LinkedIn. I would love to answer you on that also.
Cool beans. But thank you, Chirag. Thank you for coming on the show. And, it was my honor to speak with you. And Though I know you for so long, never knew that you are so wisdomous. But thank you for coming on the show, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please remember to like and subscribe to the Insane Minds podcast.